Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a potential, though. Is this really the best overnight service? I have no idea, but we're going to definitely show you a great Chinese opportunity we capitalized on, as well as what I'm thinking of doing tonight. We're going to share that all that and more right here on the Newsbeat show. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat show. We're going to talk about China, how we capitalized it. Is there a bottom here in the Chinese market? How we predicted it ahead of time, how we traded it today, and how I'm actually going to trade it again right before the close where I'm looking for an overnight, and I'm going to share all that and more. But first, your screen's going to go black, and then I would like to say thank you to our very close friends over at the T3 Live Compliance Department, which is asking me that you pause this video and read it and then hit unpause when you are done. Thank you so much for watching and reading that. And let's just go right into the action here. So, I'm going to start off with Alibaba. And why am I saying, what with what? And again, I spoke to people about, how to improve everything, and I'm trying my best to improve the services and the timing, so I'm going to try to get it out a little earlier. But basically, right here before yesterday on September 11th, we bought Baba 160 calls into next week for $3.80. Those calls today, and a lot of you guys, a lot of people trade common stock. Those calls today went as high as $6.20. They went up practically about 100% in value, and it was just an absolute phenomenal call as we were so aptly titled yesterday's Newsbeat show. We basically titled it right over here. I'll show you. We basically titled it China woes equals your dollars. And we were talking why I was calling for the bottom in the Chinese market and why we were actually jumping in and looking for trade. So here's the FXI. We noted the high option call activity the other day. FXI exploded through the ceiling, and as FXI was coming out, you want to know the importance of news. I find it funny how you'll have people out there who say news is not important. And unfortunately, those traders tend to be one of the lesser consistent traders. Not saying 100% of your trades have to be news related, but if they are, you will generally get more consistency. And I know that from the tens of thousands of traders that I have met in my, career as a trader for the past 19 years. And we had a really nice early heads up on this Chinese news breaking out. So we actually came in today, long Baba, holding Baba. Baba got downgraded today. What I was saying in the pre-market was that I was actually going to hold it, and they gapped it up a little, pulled it red, then shot it up, and I'm still holding next week's calls. And just looking at what's happening here, we basically came out a little around 11:12, and we announced that the U.S. was going to talk to China, reaching out to China, led by Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, that Washington was reaching out to Beijing, obviously regarding this U.S.-Chinese trade war. So back to the point. We called a really nice bottom on Baba yesterday. We even said yesterday in the pre-market that it was probably going to end up higher. It actually did. We bought calls. It ended up even higher today. And I'm actually contemplating buying calls again tonight. Obviously, if you're part of the Twitter service, you'll know when and where. And I'm going to try to give you guys, try to do my trades earlier to give you guys a little bit of an earlier heads up of where and what I'm doing. But I thought I would just come out now and share that with you. Alibaba. So what we did today on Alibaba was right around here, we started buying we started buying right around here on Alibaba on this first. You see, this is a 5 minute. I'm actually still holding options as we speak right now. I still have two sets of calls on me as we're having this conversation. And we actually started buying here. And it was kind of funny because I went ahead and I bought next week's 170 calls. A lot of people just bought shares. So keep in mind that trading options isn't a necessity to take value and advantage of what we do here. The majority of people in the Newsbeat live room trade only shares and not options. So I do want to point that out. I happen to take the 170 calls at 10 cents. They exploded to like, I think 35 to 40 cents. They went up they went 3.5 to four times in value on this move because we were early on the news and we knew that knew is a strong word. We felt, or at least I believed in, that Baba would actually rally off these levels. And I want to say, especially for those who are so pinned on the smaller names in this market, like there's some people who will only look for these sub $10 names because they could take, a bunch of shares and they could hope it goes higher. And look, I've seen some of these names. I've seen $2 names go to 20 bucks. I have. I have seen that in the past. But you have to also realize one thing, that certain strategies out there are not scalable. You would be surprised how many, it's kind of funny how the US, and the poverty levels is you have the lower income and then the ultra wealthy, and then there's something called the middle class in America. You would be surprised how many traders I consider middle class, basically traders that are stuck making like 30 to 200,000 a year, and I consider that like middle class, and they're trying to take that trading to the next level, where they can really make more money. And the only answer that I personally have seen that is viable to approaching that solution is trading the thicker names. Anybody who's going to just give you, a bunch of sub $10 names. Ironically, we shorted Snap this morning, and our puts actually tripled in Snapchat here. And again, like if you are part, you don't only get the overnight service, but you also get our morning upgrades and downgrades. So Snap downgrade. Um, I mentioned it was a long yesterday, and a lot of us made money on the long side. Then I mentioned it was a short today. On Snapchat, again, I give this 8:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 46 minutes before the market opens, and then we're watching it on the one and done in high five. So I just started with the one and done. That's the first strategy I do every time. Just going to quickly show you what happened here on Snapchat. Very, very easy. The first time a 1 minute bar closes in Snapchat off the open today, the first time a 1 minute bar breaks down, short it or buy puts. That's what I do. That's what my methodology states. So look what happens here. Goes up. Did it break the low? Here's the 1 minute bar. Did it break 925 here? Nope. Did it break 927 here? Nope. But right over here, you broke 927. I went ahead and I bought $9 puts expiring this week. Again, if you're in the room, I also call this out in real time. And you could see that the stock crapped itself down to 893. Later in the day, hit 890, and those puts exploded in value. They went from like 10 to 30 cents, I believe, or 10, somewhere around there, 10 to 30 cents, 29 cents. So that was something else that we were able to capitalize on today. But I just wanted to give you an update that if you're actually going to get to the next level, whether you're day trading intraday or you're swing trading or you're doing any type of trading, the only way you're going to be able to scale and not set a ceiling on your head is if you trade the bigger names. I know some people out there are against it. Like, for example, there's some people who I know in our room, we have some, the most amazing Amazon traders I've ever met in my life. I personally don't like trading Amazon. Do I trade Amazon? Sure, I do, here and there. It's not my favorite name to trade. But what I'm saying is you don't have to trade you don't have to be comfortable trading in Amazon. What I'm saying is that even if you go ahead and you simply trade, Like, for example, an Apple that's, believe it or not, very tight, or even a little crapper name like Snapchat, which already has 37 million shares. That's very scalable there. Even in a name like that, even in an Alibaba, which is giving you an explosive return, what you're literally doing, and it's a psychological aspect. There was actually a Harvard study which talked about expectations versus reality of achievement. And this Harvard study actually says the higher your ceiling is, when they say shoot for the stars, when they come out to you and they're like, hey, you should shoot for the stars, there's actually some scientific data that actually justifies, shooting for the stars. And maybe you fail and you only break the first layer of the stratosphere. Um, so, again, it's very important to set your ceiling high. If you're only trading, whether it's intraday, swing, intermediate, whatever you're doing, and you're only trading some of these very small crap biotech stocks, they call them crappers, endearingly, just because they're a crapper name, like sub $10 names. They're obviously biotechs that were generally much higher. Now they pull down lower, or these companies or these internet companies that were once $30 and now they're trading at $2.50, and you think they could go to 2.75, and they might, and then maybe they even go to 3, $4. Who knows? But what you're doing is when you trade a stock like that, you have a ceiling right here. And yeah, while some of you would like to get up to that level, to that ceiling, some of you would actually like to get there, you don't have much growth from there. You have like zero growth potential. You know how they talk about potential and kinetic energy? Like, you don't have really potential to really grow from there. You can't take one of these little crap names and just start loading in the boat. You'll never get to that next level. And ironically, if you follow that sort of methodology and mentality, I humbly believe you will never grow past a certain level. You'll hit a cap. Maybe you'll be happy. Maybe for some of you, if I said your cap is 100 to 200 grand, you might say, "Oh, I'm happy." But wait till you get to 100 to 200 grand, because I promise you, you'll be sitting there thinking, "How do I get to 3, 4, 500?" And that is where I think we take those traders to the next level. Of course, you have traders in our room who are not consistently making money, traders in our room who are consistently making money but need to get to that next level, and traders who are making a lot of money and want to even go further. And I feel like by trading these names, we can encompass and offer something to all those traders to grow and to get to that next level. So, with that being said, be careful of what you listen to out there. Be careful of who you listen to out there. It's very easy for people to show you things after they happen. If you actually listen to how these trades work today, I'm calling out what I'm doing before I actually do them. That brings a lot of value to a lot of us in the room. I do think China might have a short-term bottom. I think this is going to be one of the, check it out. I'll tell you what I'm doing in BABA from this point forward. I talked about what I already did. We talked about the Newsbeat show yesterday, which was titled, China woes equals your dollar signs. I will say, though, what's going to happen by tonight is people are going to be looking at and this is my opinion, maybe Alibaba gets smashed, maybe something comes out of China, maybe geopolitical happens, maybe this all fails. But let me tell you where I'm going to put my money on. So for me, and an Alibaba like this today, I'm looking at this chart right here and I'm thinking, you know what people are going to do? They're going to buy the rumor and sell the news. So the truth is, these U.S. China talks haven't happened yet. I'm sure China is not going to deny talking to the U.S. It's like the U.S. is coming out with an olive branch. The U.S. won this war already. This war is over. The question is, how much do you want to bleed China before this thing ends? And the answer and why that is happening is very simply put in the US Chinese dollar. Now, I said always follow the US Chinese dollar. Follow the US Chinese dollar. If these Chinese names are going to rally, you're going to have a red bar. Notice something that's interesting about these big red bars recently in China. Look what happened last time you put in a big red bar. You broke down lower the next day, which is bullish for Chinese stocks. When this goes up, it's bearish. So it's an inverted relationship, generally speaking. Here's the last big red bar you put in. Look how you followed through the next day. So, what are the odds that you're going to get at least one day of a dip where you'll have an intraday opportunity to sell an overnight and a long Chinese name tomorrow, I think my odds are looking pretty damn good. Stay tuned through our Twitter service as I'm going to share this overnight with you. I'm probably going to end up taking BABA calls for next week. Again, I'm up lovely on BABA today. I traded it intraday effectively. We even called a long breakout again. We called two longs in it today, a long yesterday and a long few days before. So I think I keep tagging this name and I keep touching it and I'm going to continue to keep touching it. And for me, as long as it's paying me money, I'm gonna keep attacking it, so to speak. So again, bullish on the Chinese names. Looking for an overnight tonight on the Chinese names. I'm actually still holding two sets of BABA calls on me right now as we speak. We actually bought right here through 160.92 was our last buy, and you can see the stock is up just a little over a point for us from that last buy. We even bought it earlier down here, and we even bought it yesterday night much lower, or yesterday night before the bell yesterday. So it's been absolutely amazing. So I also wanted to use this opportunity to say set your expectations high. Don't put a low ceiling on your head. Even if you want to make 100,000 a year, let's say you're a trader who's not consistent yet and you're looking to make $100,000 a year, don't try to make 100,000 a year. You should aim for millions and millions of dollars, and then when you don't get to millions or millions, you make 100, 200, 300,000. That is the point. The point is don't set the bar high. Don't set the bar low. Trade bigger names because I can't legally tell you what to trade. I'm not an investment advisor, but if you want to remove a ceiling from your head, if you want to lower this ceiling from your head, if you want to maintain, in my opinion, the most consistent methodology out there, try to aim for the bigger names. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat Show. We're the largest, fastest growing trading room in the United States of America. Happy trading, make money, and we'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast and tonight for another Newsbeat Show. And I will see you guys then. Have a wonderful, wonderful trading day.